place for teens. But City Beat was shut down after police complained about wholesale drug trafficking. So what's left for the kids? Teen clubs in trouble. Next on Top Story.
Top Story with Mike James and Lori Matsukawa.
Good evening again. I'm Mike James.
And I'm Lori Matsukawa. If you're a teenager, this Christmas vacation seems to offer nowhere to dance and nowhere to run.
The popular teen dance club City Beat closed after prosecutors claimed it was the scene of assembly line drug dealing.
The city is cracking down on teen clubs, thinking of imposing a new curfew, and some dance sponsors say it just isn't worth the hassle anymore.
We're going to look into this problem. We'll speak live with City Councilman Norm Rice and a teenager who wants the city to lighten up.
It could make a good movie, couldn't it? And that's exactly what these Seattle high school students are doing. A movie about the fact they have nothing to do in Seattle. For their high school history project, these kids are making a music video about Seattle's youth with nothing to do.
The problem is that the teens don't have anywhere to go, so they end up walking the streets at night.
There's no place for them to pour their energy into, and they end up stealing the key of their dad's liquor cabinet and drinking.
It's 10 o'clock on a Friday night. The youth of Seattle align themselves on the streets of this city as they wait for the night to be over. The shop owners and police wish that the kids were not there. They wish they'd go away, go home. This will not happen. In the last year, Seattle has seen dance clubs Scoochie's, Guerrilla Gardens, the Bang Club, and the Monastery close down. They've seen a teenage dance ordinance go into effect that stops any all-ages shows unless sponsored by the city. Where are the kids to go? Should they go to a $5 movie every night? Should they spend $18 to see a show in the Kingdom? Well, these things are not going to happen, and they're certainly not going to stay home. They will hit the streets and stay there until they have a place to go.
In 1984, the Seattle scene was booming. But in 1986, the authorities began oppressing the youth. The scene began to die.
Talking with John Wright, elected official to the YDC and witness of the Circle Jerks riot in 1985 in the Fremont District.
November 1985, the police shut down the last Seattle all-youth, all-ages show and club. The Circle Jerks were playing there, and me and some of my friends were there. There was 300 other youths, as myself and my friends. And the show was just beginning, and we were making our way to the front, and the police broke in and I believe they caused the riot. We didn't do a thing. And that's what happened. They started the whole thing. At that riot, 3 youths were arrested, and the YDC, the Youth Defense Campaign, was formed to protect those 3 guys. And since then, we've expanded a whole lot and protecting youth on a whole bunch of different fronts now. The 3 main goals of the YDC is to have community control of police methods and how they control young people on at concerts, and to have the repeal of all anti-youth legislature, and then to have provide more cheap, fun, and legal entertainment for youth in the Seattle area to open up more clubs for them.
Is the official message of city government now, whatever you do, we don't want you to have dances out there?
On the contrary, I think that we do have to find an environment where we can get kids together. I think it's going to take more than just the city. It's going to take community groups and the like to put active program together. But I do think you have to recognize that the city has some responsibilities. We have to license those clubs. And if some incident should occur, we would be liable. I can't control the insurance industry and tort liability and the cost what it comes to the city for such an incident. We have to put those rules there. There are people who exploit youngsters who go to dances. That's why City Beat is closed. That's why we've had numerous incidents with clubs around the city. There's also a responsibility of the club owner in relationship to the businesses around there. We've had petitions where people want to close them. So we've got to come up with a combination of, I think, some support from kids, from community, and I think from the city. Well, I think there are other alternatives beside teen clubs, and I think we have to look at our city recreation centers. I think we are going to have to talk about active subsidy of those clubs.
Those who want to provide dances for teenagers say they're being stifled by city restrictions. All city dances like this one at the Seattle Center must carry at least $1 million liability insurance, hire 18 Seattle police officers for security, hire 5 Seattle Center staff to run things, and sell tickets in advance, not at the door.
Todd Stewart, manager of Fallout Records.
Well, Seattle's always had its up and downs as far as the music scene goes. Right now it's in a heavy down period, and it's pretty serious this time. In the past it's been up and down due to promoters getting burnt out and just sort of hanging back for a while, then they'll come back. Now it's a lot more serious because there are actual city ordinances explicitly banning small all ages shows, and for that reason, I mean, to me, music, it's important that people of all ages can hear it because music has a lot more impact on younger people. To older people, hearing music is just entertainment, fun, good music. To younger people, it's entertainment, fun, good music, and it can change their lives too. The YDC is trying. I think they're a little off target. I agree with their principles, but I think that they need to just realize that what they need is a couple really good high-powered lawyers to just say, look, because they're talking about City Hall here. Yeah. Basically, I consider these ordinances to be a violation of the Constitution of the United States, the right to free speech and free assembly.
Ain't Nothing to Do, a documentary on the youth of Seattle, was produced and directed by Cole Peterson and Paul Uhlir. Edited by Bob Peterson. Music by Cro-Mags, Circle Jerks, Husker Du, and Green River. Great big David Strunk thanks to Bob Peterson, John Boner Coney, Molly Settlemeyer, Fallout Records, YDC, Chris Monk, Kogi Hirschberg, Little Wayne, and our friendly competitors, King TV.